Hey everyone. Alright, so this is my getting to know you video, and we'll start with question number one. Do you have any pets? I'm going to count this as pets that I currently live with, so yes, I do. I have a dog named Puck, who's a pit bull mix, and he is almost 3 years old. He'll be 3 years old this August. And I have two cats. One of them is named Oberon, and one of them is named Shaw, but we call Oberon Obi because Oberon is far too dignified for him. They are both black cats. Oberon is bigger and Shaw is littler, and they're both almost 3 years old. Okay, how old will I be on my next birthday? On my next birthday, May 20th, I will be 22 years old, and I will also have graduated from college. Hooray. Okay, 3. Have you ever been to the hospital? Yes, I have, multiple times. Let's see. The first time was probably when I was like 4, and my mother dislocated my elbow by swinging me around by my arm and leg, which she felt really bad about, and it was really anticlimactic because we went to the hospital and we waited for a long time and had to do all these x-rays and stuff, and then finally the doctor just came in and like popped my arm back into place, and that took about 10 seconds. So that was a lot of wait for nothing. I've also been to the hospital when I split my chin open, skating backwards on the ice, and I had to go and get some stitches, and that was pretty exciting. And the latest time I've been to the hospital is for my hand when I was playing drunk Mao with my housemates this summer. And we went to go slap the king, and my housemate knocked over her glass of wine at the same time that I slapped the king. So I kept my hand open on a piece of glass, and I had to go get that sewn up. And I have a pretty gnarly scar because the person who sewed it up was only like a doctor in training and not an actual doctor. So he didn't do very well. At one point, he like stabbed me through the flesh where I could still feel it. And I was like, ow, there's not any anesthetic there. And he was like, oh, sorry, did I hurt you? Yeah, so a pretty cool scar from that. And that's the latest time I've been to the hospital. Okay, what did I do today? It's like 7:22 here, so since I go to bed at like 9 or 10, I'm not going to do that much more today, so I'll tell you what I did, which is a lot. So I got up early this morning, and I took Puck on a walk with Leah, and while we were walking him, we noticed that he was peeing blood, which was very concerning, so we immediately called the vet, and we made an appointment for him to go to the vet at 9 a.m. So I sent an email to my professor who teaches my 9 a.m. class and was like, I'm sorry, my dog has a medical emergency. I will not be coming in today. So we took him to the vet, and basically they don't really know what's wrong with him. So we're just gonna keep an eye on him and hope he stops peeing blood, slash hope he doesn't have kidney stones and is suddenly no longer able to pee. So that's exciting. Then I went to my U.S. Women's History class with the excellent professor Jacqueline Dirks. Um, and then I went to lunch with my friends, and that was good. And then, oh yeah, right, then I had a thesis meeting with my advisor, Peter, and he said, yes, you have in fact completed an entire draft of your thesis. Congratulations. And then he proceeded to give me about 1,000,001 things to improve on. So it was like, yay, I finished a thing, but also I have so much more work to do. And then I went to work in the admissions office where I am a campus intern. Basically means I like give tours and interview people, but I didn't do any of that today. I basically just like sat around and chatted with prospective students and their families. I also tried to do the Tuesday crossword in the New York Times and failed pretty miserably. So that was cool. And then I went. Oh, sorry, my computer froze on me. We're back. We're good. And then I went to the library to hang out with Emma and Leah while they were doing a little work before dinner. And then we went to dinner, and Leah updated us all about her friend Kate's drama. Her friend Kate had a fiance who she was going to get married to this summer and is now like breaking up with, and the fiance is moving out of the house, and it's a whole big drama. So we got updated on that at dinner. Then Emma and I dropped Leah after class and came home, and Emma's feeling sick, so she's sitting downstairs right now, and I am procrastinating on my homework by making this video. It's a Tuesday, by the way, I'm making this video early. And tonight I'm gonna go pick up Shri and Leah from their evening class, and I will go to bed at a reasonable hour, and it will be great, because I'm really tired. That was a really long thing about what I did today. When was the last time I cried? Okay, last time I cried was on Sunday. I had to think about this before I made the video to make sure I can remember. Last time I cried was on Sunday. I was feeling really grumpy with Emma, and I was like trying to figure out why, and then finally I figured out it was basically just that I missed her because she's been spending literally all of her time either working or in the library working on her thesis, and she's been really stressed and hasn't really had time for me. So I was like, so I finally figured it out, and when I have emotional conversations with people, I have a tendency to cry, even if I'm not like particularly upset with them. So yeah, I cried when I was telling her that. Am I named after anyone? Apparently, I am named after someone my mother knew when she was a child. Apparently, there was an Irish family that lived nearby, and Deirdre was like the best name out of the three, and she wanted an Irish name. But there's also an Irish mythological heroine named Deirdre. And I'm totally going to tell you that story. Okay, so Deirdre was, before she was born, it was prophesied that if she ever met a man before she got married, she would cause a war. So she was born, and she was locked up in this tower in the middle of the forest, and like betrothed to the prince of the next kingdom. And of course, she grew up really beautiful, and her nurse felt bad for her that she didn't get to see any men, so she introduced her to the prince of another kingdom, not the one she was engaged to. And of course, they fell in love and ran away together, and then that prince got into the war with the prince she was betrothed to, and the prince she was betrothed to ended up killing the prince she was in love with, and then she committed suicide because she didn't want to marry this other dude. It's a very sad story. She did cause a war. 7. If you could live in any fantasy world or alternate reality, where would you live? Okay, this is something I've given a lot of consideration to in my life, and I don't know if any of you have read these books, but there's a series of books called the Western Shore series by Ursula Le Guin, and they're called Gifts, Voices, and Powers. And if I could live in any world, I would live in that one. And this isn't like I would tour that world, because there's not like, I mean, obviously there are places I want to see there, but that's not really why, because if I had to choose a place to like be a tourist, I'd choose somewhere else. It's because that is the place where I could do work that I want to do. Like, one of the main characters, he's this really great poet, but also what he does is he just travels around to all these cities and like gathers up these lost books and these lost stories and these lost like works and collects them together and like brings them to light again, and I just think that is absolutely the coolest thing ever, and I want to go join him and study with him and collect books with him. So yeah, that's why I'd live there. um 8. What movie have you seen the most? Definitely the Lord of the Rings movies, like by far. I've seen those movies a ridiculous number of times. 9. What did you want to be when you were little? When I was little, I always wanted to be an artist. I know that is extraordinarily vague, and I can't even entirely remember what I meant by that. I just, artist. Yeah. If you could be anywhere right now, where would you be? I thought about this, and I don't know. I would be on a beach. I just don't know. It's pretty much a tie between would I be on Cape Cod Beach with all of you, or would I be on the Oregon coast with Emma and Leah? Definitely one of the two. Beaches are my happy place. Alright, I think that's all the questions. So, since I'm almost at 10 minutes because I've rambled on, I will wrap up this video. And I look forward to seeing everyone else's.